official return to the court along with her teammate Diana Taurasi, and she is in her 19th season. She's also the league's career scoring leader. The game on the 19th between the Mercury and the Sparks will air on ESPN and stream on ESPN Plus. It's going to be at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll also make it the first time a WNBA game will be available on ESPN streaming service. Also during opening weekend, Atlanta Dream will be facing the Dallas Wings. The Las Vegas Aces, who are the former champions, they're going to be playing the Seattle Storm, and then the Chicago Sky is going to be playing the Los Angeles Sparks. So moving over to the NBA, it is officially about to be conference finals time in the East and Western Conference. To start, the Philadelphia 76ers, they did lose the series against the Boston Celtics, and it makes the third straight season that the 76ers have lost in the Eastern Conference semifinals, and it makes Doc Rivers now 6-10 as a head coach in Game 7s, and they have lost the 5 straight games for Doc Rivers. Also, their star James Harden, he didn't play too well in the series against Boston. He did combine for 22 points in the last 2 games of the series, and he was 7 for 27 on his shooting range. It's also crazy 3 years later, after the NBA bubble during COVID in 2020, the same 4 teams are now in the conference finals. So there will be a rematch between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics in the East, and then in the West, it's going to be the Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. It also makes it that 2 play-in teams, which are the Heat and the Lakers, are going to be in the conference finals as a play-in team, and that also hasn't happened before since, they did just start that play-in tournament in the last couple of seasons. But in Game 7 between the Celtics and Philly, Jason Tatum did score the most points in an NBA Game 7 history, as he scored 51 points, as the Celtics did beat the 76ers 112-88 to advance to the East Finals. Then looking at the series between the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns, Denver did win that series, and the Suns did lose that last game by 25 points. Following that loss, the Phoenix Suns did dismiss their head coach Monty Williams after 4 seasons, and he's also a 2-time NBA Coach of the Year. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker were the only pair of teammates in NBA history that have had 35-plus points each in back-to-back playoff games, but unfortunately, that wasn't enough for them to win the series against Denver. The other teammates that did do that were Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. Looking at the series between the Los Angeles Lakers, when they were playing the Golden State Warriors, the Lakers did win that series 4-2 in Game 6. They won in LA by 21 points. Also for the Lakers, Lonnie Walker came off the bench and gave the Lakers a spark in order to win the game. He's also the first Laker to score 15-plus points off the bench in the 4th quarter of a playoff game since Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant did that on May 8th, 1997, when he had 17 points off the bench versus the Utah Jazz, and exactly 26 years later, on May 8th in 2023, was when Lonnie Walker had his 15 points off the bench against the Warriors. To look at the series, the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers will begin their series on Tuesday, May 16th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN, and then Boston will start their series on Wednesday on TNT at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time against the Miami Heat. So if you guys want to keep up with the playoffs, all the series of all the games will be on ESPN, ABC, or TNT. Looking at some other things surrounding the playoffs, some facts: the Milwaukee Bucks are the first team to have the best NBA record during the regular season and then go on to win 0 or 1 playoff game since the 1968-1969 Bullets. Also, the past couple of weeks, I've spoken about how teams have parted ways with their head coaches since the NBA regular season has ended. And looking at the last 4 NBA champions, there's now only 1 head coach remaining with his team, which is Steve Kerr with the Golden State Warriors. The other 3 teams are the Milwaukee Bucks, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Toronto Raptors. They have all parted ways with their championship-winning coaches. Those coaches were being Nick Nurse in Toronto, Frank Vogel with the Lakers, Mike Budenholzer with Milwaukee. And Milwaukee did recently just part ways with Coach Bud right after Milwaukee did lose in the first round to the Heat in this year's playoffs. The Milwaukee was the number 1 seed, but Bud did lead them to the title in 2021 when they did win a championship. Also, the last couple of shows I spoke about the NBA awards that were given out, and the only one that wasn't given out yet was that MVP award. So if you guys haven't heard yet, Joel Embiid did win the MVP award this season. T-Rex is a Joel Embiid fan over there. He averaged 33.1 points and 10.2 rebounds this season. He did beat out Nikola Jokic and Giannis. By doing that, he becomes the first Sixer to win the MVP award since Allen Iverson did in 2001. Also, some big news surrounding the NBA in the past couple of days now is, unfortunately, we are here again. I didn't think we'd be here, but that news is surrounding Memphis star Ja Morant. Now, a few weeks ago, we did see he was on an Instagram Live in a club where he flashed a gun, and he did, spend a few games away from the team, and they said that he did check into a facility for a few days. But this weekend, he was on an Instagram Live on his friend's account where they were seen, singing along to some songs in the car. And then Ja was seen on the live showing a gun again. So the league has suspended him. Right now it is indefinitely, as they are going to keep on investigating it. Right now people aren't too sure how long he's going to be suspended, but most analysts and former players are thinking that he probably will be suspended about 20 to 25 games next season, which is not good for Memphis, not having their star, and for him to miss a big chunk of the season already will not be good. So hopefully Ja is able to buckle down and, realize he's a role model and, to stop doing these things with the position that he has in the NBA. But right now I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more ball, and maybe my special guest will be here. Stay tuned. This is Ball Talk with Brandy.
This is WNRV 108.1.
Triple B's, man. People scared to change. We not. So. What you rockin' ZO2s? I'm blowing past some ZO2. You know I got a ZO2. Pay respect and pay your dues. Switching lanes, ZO2. I changed the game, ZO2. They know my name, ZO2. Pay respect and pay your dues. Shouts out to Future, keep guap on me. Shout out to Beats, cause I keep me a lot on me. Shout out to everyone doubting me. Changing the game and they make cause I'm charging fees. Know the name, you see the fame. All my socials got the check. If you talking out of line, put 3 stripes across your neck. In my under, I'm an X-Man. X-Man without the X. Man, I only fear God. I keep a cross across my chest. What you rockin' ZO2s? I'm blowing past some ZO2. You know I got a ZO2. Pay respect and pay your dues. Switching lanes, ZO2. I changed the game, ZO2. They know my name, ZO2. Pay respect and pay your dues. Pass me the ball and I'm shooting. I hop on the beat just to geek and go stupid. Don't talk if you clueless, just stay in your lane cause my people is moving. With them beats it's a movement. I dropped out of school cause I'm smarter than students. Only 1 year I was done with the Bruins. Slaving for free, I was offered to move it. Millions of dollars, I took it, I'm human. I'm taking that cash, I don't care if I lose it. Brody on beats and it sounded so fluent. Trust in the brain cause you know what we doing. What you rockin' ZO2s? I'm blowing past some ZO2. You know I got a ZO2. Pay respect and pay your dues. Switching lanes, ZO2. I changed the game, ZO2. They know my name, ZO2. Pay respect and pay your dues. Came in the game and I'm ballin'. I'm looking for comp, I can't find no opponent. I'm looking for problems, I see it, I solve it. If you and I'm about it, then why are you talking? People know me when I'm walking. I'm suited up, I'm Tony Stark. Get from around me when I'm parking. I need some space, I drive a rocket. Diamonds on my neck, dripping like a faucet. Big baller brand, know you see me bossing. Never caught a deal, still Randy Moss. Had to change the culture, everything revolved. What you rockin' ZO2s? I'm blowing past some ZO2. You know I got a ZO2. Pay respect and pay your dues. Switching lanes, ZO2. I changed the game, ZO2. They know my name, ZO2. Pay respect and pay your dues.
This is WNRV 108.1.
What's up, everybody? It's your sports guru here. Every Monday from 5 to 6, you guys are going to tune in to Ball Talk with Brandy. Your favorite athletes are going to be pulling up. You guys don't want to miss it.
stop it, block it, when I drop it. Anytime I go rhyme for rhyme on a topic. They ain't even fit to step in Shaq's arena. I look inside your mind and I see your shook demeanor. In your eyes, why are you surprised? No matter how you try, not fly as Eloquaz. The new edition. Is this the end of your last night? In the daytime, you couldn't see me with a flashlight. I crash flights on sights of my enemy. I'm coming through and then I bomb your whole vicinity. Why the acting, faking Jack? You're not a friend to me. I peeped your card, you're not as hard as you pretend to be. Who wanna spark it with the chocolate? Macadamium, head clean to the cranium. You know the name, Shaq aim to maintain money on the brain. Can't stop the rain, the rain.
Legends and biggest, cream lizards, cream coochies. I do my duty as long as they fly as me and high as me. Success of my circle. Try to break it, I hurt you. Ain't no getting out that. I doubt that. We want the exotic, erotic ladies, not them toxic ladies that burn a lot. I learned a lot from junkies to ruffians, from being tied up by Colombians. Cause 80 grams was missing. Listen, had to change my position from wanting to be large to head in charge. My garage, call it CeeLo. 4, 5s and 6s, honeys by the mixes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Smoke out with Leo, Biggie, Tarantino. Size like a sumo, Frank White, numero uno. Can't stop, won't stop. 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 Can't stop, won't stop.
7-0, towering inferno, invincible, smooth individual. Who wanna test it? Foreign or domestic? No matter where you're from, I'm not the one you wanna mess with. Original, Whitley style, living lavish. Private jets to let my shorty shop in Paris. I'm not the average, I'm far from the norm. It's Daddy Long hitting them strong, keeping you warm.
A lime to a lemon, my DC women bringing in 10G minimums to condos with elevators in them. Vehicles with televisions in them. Watch the entourage turn yours to just mirages. Disappearing acts, strictly nines and max. Killers be serial, Copperfield material. My dreams is vivid, work hard to live it. Any place I visit, I got land there. How can players stand there and say I sound like them? Hello, push wings back and push 6 coupes that's yellow. Plus clips that expand from hand to elbow. Spray up your days in any teller you in. Crack bragging, sick of bragging, how my mink be dragging. Desert East street sweepers inside the Beamer wagon. I rely on Bed-Stuy to shut it down if I die. Put that on my diamond bezel. You're messing with the devil. Why? Can't stop, won't stop. 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 Can't stop, won't stop.
You can't stop the rain now when it starts to fall. When it starts to fall, there's no one else to blame. No one else to blame. If you lock that door, if you lock the door, you can't stop the rain now.
What up, man? It's your boy Big Hef, man. I'm tapped in with my homegirl Brandy. Yo, this is Ball Talk. We talking sports. We talking that action. Yeah.
Hey, money old, I'm on an old school beat. Hey, not Halloween, but I got some tricks that give me trees. Hey, I put my maid in the street, cause that gon' sweep. Street sweeper, she'll keep 'em. In my pocket got. I done came through and I'm riding in a Tesla. I don't f with bro, so I had to charge them extra. Never say never, but never seen a better. They ask me what's next, my response was pressure. Money come and go, but the business always grow. A connecting dots like I play connect fold. A picking thoughts like an eeny miny mo. A nigga super hot, so they gon' blow. Yo, what you mean? On a miss. Got a from Houston, but I'm still not tipping. Tipping 4 foes. Chillin' with my bros. Wetter than the ocean, so I'm gon' roll. Lil' boat. I'm a psychic, lil' running bands up, getting rich. Damn. Told her best friend my big, she a snitch. Money old, I'm on an old school beat. Hey, not Halloween, but I got some tricks to give me. I done came through in a foreign and I'm riding. Say I'm just a son, that's why they shine. When I play, I'm seeking, hiding. That do what I say, so they call me Simon. If they say I'm broke, you a motherfucking liar. If she ride me good, change that hoe attire. If she me good, get whatever you desire. Said I'm good, I said stupid, I'm fire. Good, what you mean? Good, what's the hold up? If you talking crazy, get your photo. If you talking crazy, get your stupid rotor. I've been having since the old school Motorola. I'm a psychic, lil' running bands up, getting rich. Damn. Told her best friend my big, she a snitch. Goddamn. Money old, I'm on an old school beat. Money old. Hey, not Halloween, but I got some tricks to give me trees. Hey, I put my maid in the street, cause I gon' sweep. Don't sweep. Street sweeper, she a keeper. In my pocket got. Oh, psychic. What up? I put my maid in the street cause I don't sweep.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Ebony with an eye and the ball's in her court now. It's my girl Brandy on Mondays from 5 to 6 with her new show, Ball Talk. Check it out.
20 when I ride out. Honey's gotta come and down the pole when I buy it out.
Oh, stand on your big spender, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Oh, stand on your big tipper, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Stand on your big spender, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Oh, stand on your big tipper, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah.
Dollar, real money when I stun it might go overhead. I probably buy a dealership before I ever blow the bread. All my diamonds gold in the face inside my rollie red. I eat a holy spread and I only fly in Boeing jets. All of the family got paper. We from the land of the Raiders. Pick up the phone for a check. We never check for the haters. That's what suckers do. And we say sucker proof. I got my stunner shades and I'm stunting on you.
Oh, stand on your big spender, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Oh, stand on your big tipper, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Oh, stand on your big spender, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Oh, stand on your big tipper, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah.
720 when I ride out. Blue hunters gotta coming down the pole when I buy it out. She wanna f me, tell me fly her out. Put a chandelier on her, got her shining like a lighthouse. Big fish dropping out the right wrist. Rabbits in the room, I got carrots on the right. Haters online, they just mad, they can't type this. Had her in the pool throwing money, yeah, you like this little.
Oh, stand on your big spender, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Oh, stand on your big tipper, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Oh, stand on your big spender, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Oh, stand on your big tipper, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah.
I spend a lot, I wine and dine and thought I do my ditty bop. There's plenty rocks shining in this clock. This is a paddock watch. I love the hope, I wanna cuff the hope. I let my brother know, he told me no, don't be no Romeo, but I'll be lonely though. We popping up, nobody stopping us. I ain't never copying no, they be jocking us. Shorty got a booty, I love it, but we don't talk enough. I got hella bougie, I'm clutching, don't be just walking up. Boom.
Oh, stand on your big spender, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Oh, stand on your big tipper, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Oh, stand on your big spender, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah. Oh, stand on your big tipper, yeah. Honey on my wrist, yeah.
Crisis, letting y'all know Monday from 5 to 6, live on WNRV. Check out my dog, the good sis, Brandy, with Ball Talk.
Give me a beat, Jay.
Lost God.
They see me up now. Hit my line, they like, what's up now? Diamonds on my neck, the rollie bust down. Pull up to the club in Bentley trucks now. They know what's up now. They see me up now. Just hit my line, they like, what's up now? Diamonds on my neck, the rollie bust down. Pull up to the club in Bentley trucks now. They know what's up now. Yeah. They see me up now, so don't hit my line. I just flooded out the bezel, I can't see the time. Told her hop inside the spaceship, she lost her mind. And I keep getting better like a glass of wine. Come wine for me. Come shake it on me. Try to run up, but the on me. Lacoste t-shirts, so I keep the gator on me. Doing what I'm supposed to do, so them haters on me. Nothing but ballers on my team, so it's players only. Pulling up in big foreigns, yeah, it's flavors only. And we copping real estate, yeah, gated only. Dripped out when I spit, got the labels on me. And I'm smoking on a purple label on me. Young from the rock, they jabronis. Major phonies, that ain't your homie. Paid they tab for a minute, now them they owe me. Up now, just hit my line, they like, what's up now? Diamonds on my neck, the rollie bust down. Pull up to the club in Bentley trucks now. They know what's up now. They see me up now. Hit my line, they like, what's up now? Diamonds on my neck, the rollie bust down. Pull up to the club in Bentley trucks now. They know what's up now. Yeah. Y'all do stars in the ceiling, we do real stars. Pulling up every roof missing on our cars. Pulling up every bitch on the strippers off. I leave a tip today, she in the crib tomorrow. Get right today, we take a trip tomorrow. Private jets, you ain't got a shot, we hit the mall. Private section in the club, take them Vickies off. Honey pack on your these, phone on D&D, yeah, I switch it off. Headed back to the city, we can kick it off. Run it back to Sean Jack, yeah, I kick it off. Your friend hating on your line, tell her get lost. She throw that back, I catch it Randy Moss. Never get a prey gold, but I got the sauce. Hit the Cayman Islands, pull up in that Cayman Porsche. Times and I came in fourth. Hit my line, they like, what's up now? Diamonds on my neck, the rollie bust down. Pull up to the club in Bentley trucks now. They know what's up now. They see me up now. Hit my line, they like, what's up now? Diamonds on my neck, the rollie bust down. Pull up to the club in Bentley trucks now. They know what's up now. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's your sports guru here every Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. on WNRV 108.1. Catch me, Ball Talk with Brandy. Welcome back to Ball Talk with Brandy. I told you guys to stay tuned because if you were a Cavs fan, I was going to have one of your guys' favorite people in the building. So everyone, please welcome to the show, Daniel Booby Gibson. How are you today? Thank you for joining me.
I'm doing good. I appreciate you for having me. I'm excited about it.
For sure. I know we took a few times to get you here, but I'm glad you were finally able to pick a day and you were able to come out. So we're going to back up a little bit and start back to, you growing up in Houston. So how did that decision come about to go ahead and play for the Longhorns instead of other schools?
Well, I guess if anybody know me, they know I'm like big on family. Like that's just been my whole thing. So coming out of high school, I obviously had like a lot of big schools like reaching out to me, like your Kansas, Duke, North Carolina, and it was cool to have them coming to the hood of Houston and like the head coaches come walking down the hallway. But I kind of always knew that I didn't want to go too far away from my mom, and so going to UT, it gave my dad, my mom, and my family the opportunity to come to all my games. So that was like the deciding factor at the end of the day why I chose to kind of stay close to home and stay in Houston. Stay in Austin, which is 2 hours from Houston.
So you had a good college career. You had the most three-pointers in a season. You played 2 years there, and then you decided to clear for the draft. So how was that decision like, deciding that you wanted to go to the league?
It was, I guess my journey was a little tricky because when I did decide to go to Texas, it was with a guy named LaMarcus Aldridge who retired this year. He was in Dallas, and we played a basketball game together, and we both scored like 45. And so after the game, we like kind of like, you know, Bron and D-Wade and them did, and like, what is that, 12? We was just like, man, we should probably go to the same school. It'll give us a chance to go to the league. And so we decided to do that. And then so my freshman year, I was going to come out. I had a better year, but he tore his hip up. And so because we went to school together, I said, I'll come back. And so I ended up going back that year too, not having as good of a year, but I still knew I'd get drafted. And the best part about it was I ended up getting the opportunity to work out for the Cavs, them being my second workout. And I just had like the craziest workout of my life. Like, couldn't miss a shot. And they had 3 picks that year, and they told me if nobody else got to see me, that they'd pick me. So I shut down all the rest of my workouts for that year, and they picked me.
So you got drafted by Cleveland in the second round. What was that moment like when you got drafted?
I still get like goosebumps, right? Like just thinking about it. Cause my grandmother, she passed away before I made it to the league, but she was actually there for when they called my name. So that was cool. We did it at her house. And yeah, in the second round, it's not guaranteed. So I'm just sitting on the couch waiting for that call, but also knowing that not only once that they can still pick me, but I can still get cut. So I still knew it was work to be done, but just to let my grandmother know and my parents know that like our life is gonna change, at least for like 2 months first before I got it done. It was a moment I'll never forget.
So what was it like, you know, coming up here to Cleveland from being in the South in Texas?
Shell shock. Like I'm talking about, I hadn't probably ever seen snow a day in my life, other than like if we played in a city like Nebraska and it was snow and we landed, but never to like drive in it. So my first year, I was ready to leave. I was ready to go back to Texas, find some sun, and find like a clean road. But the city kind of like embraced me from the moment that I got here. Mm-hmm. So they like made me comfortable with like just working through it. And so I ended up falling in love with the city and figuring out how to drive in the snow. It was better. I started off with like a two-wheel drive Mercedes. That was like the worst decision I could have made in my life. Right. But I survived, got a 4-wheel, got me a truck, got me an Escalade, and yeah, I was cool after that.
So it's your rookie year in Cleveland. Had to be pretty memorable coming here. You guys made playoffs. But what was it like being able to go to the finals, you know, your rookie year?
I mean, dream come true. Like you don't really think that it's gonna happen that way. You just think that, you know, you're gonna try to earn your opportunity to play. And what ended up happening was playing with LeBron that first year. We're only like maybe 2 or 3 years separate from age. So me coming in, we were kind of close already. And so I was able to like work out with him even when I wasn't getting in the game. And then that whole year, our relationship got closer, and he started to trust me, and I could tell that he was kind of letting them know that we had like some older guys, so like maybe give like the rookie a chance. Like I think he deserved a chance, and I got a chance during that season. And then in the playoffs, he gave me we were playing against the Washington Wizards, and he gave me a chance in that early series, and I made some shots, and then he kind of started to take Eric Snow out of the rotation and kind of put me in it, and from there it just turned into like probably, I mean, I played great basketball, but I had like a real string of good basketball games together during that playoffs that I feel like it was almost like divine, almost, because I just feel like the scenario was set up for it to happen, and if you don't take advantage of that moment, you really don't get that opportunity again, because I never went back to the finals. So that was the moment, and yeah, I took advantage of getting that opportunity.
So we may have just talked about it, but what would you say was your most memorable part of your career?
For sure, our Game 6, Detroit Pistons. It's the game to go to the finals. And Bron the night before had just scored like 29 straight in overtime. So we knew that they were gonna double team him and do all that. So it's like, who's gonna step up the next game, man? I was excited for the opportunity. I ain't know it was gonna go that good, but literally came out, couldn't miss a shot, and they kept finding me. And that probably was like the best moment ever, because after that game, my grandmother, people always ask me where I get the name Booby from. My granny gave it to me as a kid, and then that night just hearing the whole arena kind of call it that night, it was just really a dope way to kind of honor her, because like I tell you, she never got to see me play. So like that was probably the best moment of my basketball career altogether.
So you came to the team, you guys had your run in playoffs for a few years, and then 2010, LeBron leaves to go to Miami. You guys kind of had a year of figuring it out, and then the next year, Kyrie and Tristan were drafted. So how was it like, playing with them their first 2 years of their career?
It's cool, right? So like we just talked about like me going to the finals and me being like at the top of the mountain. Then when Bron leave that next year, I think we might have lost like 25 games in a row. So now we're at the bottom of the mountain, but I was able to, right, we get the first pick, we get Kyrie, we get Dion, we get Tristan, and I'm able to kind of show them now what I learned from LeBron going to the finals. I'm able to show them like the work that it takes to just become a good professional, just to give yourself a chance to be great in this league. I was able to kind of show that to them early. That's why me and Kyrie are still good now. Tristan and even Dion, like those are my rooks. And so like the experience was great. It was just tough kind of going from winning every game to like having a fight to win 20. But I think that's kind of where me and the city of Cleveland kind of just developed that relationship at, because it's like I was there for the great times, I was there for the bad times, and I was still the same and they were still the same. They still cheered for us the same, and I still played just as hard.
So how was it like then in 2016 being able to see LeBron, Kyrie, and Tristan all win Cleveland's first ring?
I cry. I wish I was. I shed a little thug to that tear when it's like right about to come out, but you don't let it come out. I definitely shed that tear just because I just know the city of Cleveland deserved it. Like they stick with their teams through and through. It's a real sports town, so I just knew that just thinking of that parade, I was able to come to the parade. Like I knew that was gonna be a moment that they deserve, and me starting at the bottom and seeing them get to the top was a real special moment.
So like you said, during your 7 years, you were able to experience, what it was to win, what it was to lose, and also face some injuries. So what would you say was the biggest thing you learned throughout your time playing?
Just be in the moment. I feel like everybody's journey is different. Some guys play 20 years and be the best in the league for 20 years. Some guys play 7 or 8 years and then max out on that 7 or 8 years, but affect the city in a way that like a guy that played 15 probably didn't, because he might have played for 5 or 6 different teams. So it's like, just enjoy, be in the moment, be present, and just work as hard as you possibly can. That's kind of what I learned and what I kind of try to instill in the new positions that I have now. I try to instill in these guys just the value of hard work and just the value of being present, because for NBA guys, they call us old when we like 32, 33. Right. But by the world standards, we still young, you know what I mean? So it's just, in the basketball world, just being in the moment, because the time does go fast, and you think about those days and you want to make sure you max out.
So during your last season, you did suffer your ankle injury, and then you took some time away, and then you decided to retire. Kind of left Cavs fans confused, but what was that recovery process like for you, and then deciding to go ahead and retire?
Yeah, so for me, it was like, people probably felt like there was a moment where like I disappeared, but it was really just me going through like, it's a term that I found out going through my little therapy, that it's called like Olympic depression. It's like where your entire life, like you've done this one thing that's what everybody is like praised you for, and it's become your identity, and now you are just yanked out of it without having any like safety net to land on, and you got to kind of figure it out from there. And the outside world is kind of looking at it like, man, you got like $50 million, like you shouldn't be mad or thinking about what's next. But it's like for a competitor, for somebody that's invested so much into it, you just don't really know where your value is at in the world outside of that, because that's kind of how you've created it. So that's kind of what happened after I broke my ankle. Well, it started when I broke my ankle to finish that season, and then I was a free agent, and to try to come back, I hurt my back and my knee, like just through the process of recovery. Kind of like Clay did a little bit, but Clay hurt his Achilles in the preseason. So imagine him doing that before the preseason came up. You would have never saw him either for about 2 or 3 years. And so at that point, I just felt like my body wasn't the same no more, and my mental wasn't in it as much as it was. So that's when I kind of decided to detour. But again, God's blessed me with a few different skill sets to be able to manage. I just had to get out of my own head and get out my own way, and just started to do some entertainment. But eventually, I ended up right back in basketball at the end of the day.
So you talk about, after basketball, turning to some other passions. What made you want to step over into the music side, becoming an artist?
It was really because I'm not really I'm talking to you because we on the podcast right now, but I really don't share a lot of the stuff I'm sharing with you. I really kind of keep it all to myself, and I've always been the strong one, the one that just figures it out. And so for me, I just it was just my way of having a place to just clear my heart, clear my spirit, and clear my mind. And I've always had the ability to write. What a lot of people don't know is coming out of high school, I was salutatorian. I was second in my class, or finished sixth in my class. I could have went to school on an academic scholarship, but when you play basketball, that's really all they care about is just put the ball in the basket. And so I was able to use that to kind of as my therapy. And that's what kind of led to the music. It was just really just the next step of things that I love.
So then, also during your time, you helped out the AAU teams in Houston. So what was that like in your role helping them?
For me, that's what it was all about. It was all about making it to the NBA. And where I'm from, nobody does that. So now I'm the face for these kids to believe that they can do it too, or just to give them a reason or inspiration to just work hard. It might not be the NBA where they land, but just the idea that they can be more than where we come from. That was what it was all about. So I started my AAU teams, and they called D-Give Hoops back in Houston, from 13 and under to 17 and under, and I just give them a chance to just go play in front of college scouts. Like most summer teams, kids get recruited and then they come in, and so they got all the gear and all that. So my kids got the gear, but they not recruited kids. They all come from what I come from. But teams in the city scared to play against us because we play you better bring it or we gonna rip your heart out type. And so for me, the whole point of making it to the NBA was to be able to do that for them and give them an opportunity to take care of their family or be successful in life. That was what it was all about.
So then you circled back, you had joined the assistant coaches program. What made you want to, try coaching in the league?
I just love basketball, and I could never find a way to really stay connected to it the way that I wanted to. So joining the ACP program, I was able to kind of fill out different ways that I could, after basketball, still be connected to the NBA. So they gave me you can scout, you can coach, there's a lot of different ways to still be there. And so I just tried to find my niche, and I qualified for the apprenticeship, and then the Cavs, they saw that I was in the program and basically just, again, snatched me out the program. We not finna let another team get you. And so they brought me back this year. And so I did the apprenticeship for scouting and coaching. And, this is kind of a little exclusive for you. I think they're working on now a front office position for me next season. So it's not just coaching. It's more along the lines of, working towards just trying to help them find players for the team and just being able to be a mentor from the front office side.
So you talk about, coming back to Cleveland. Were there other teams that you wanted to coach for or looked at, or was it always, coming back to Cleveland?
The road always ended here, but if we, talking business, you got to have other teams to kind of make them see your value. So the Sacramento Kings, I spoke about Mike Brown earlier. That was my coach, so I reached out to him. He had a position for me with them. And then Chauncey Billups, who actually was my guy, the Game 6 game, I actually beat them, but he was my mentor coming into that season. He's the head coach for the Portland Trailblazers, so Portland too. And a few other teams were mixed in, but those two were two teams that offered me a job, and I was able to kind of tell the Cavs, I want to be here, but like, you know, they actually, you know, see some value in me too. But it kind of just made the Cavs just step up and, you know, take care of business. And like, they knew I didn't want to go nowhere else. They knew that like I feel like this is home, and I always have.
So how did it feel to come back here after, you know, you spent your entire career here, but now you're back coaching?
What's crazy is that they don't. I feel like I still play on the team sometimes. Like when I walk through the arena, like they still give me like the same love, the same appreciation. And I get them the same love back. And so, experiencing that for a year now, I just don't feel like I can be anywhere else. Like the sales pitch that I gave the Cavs about the position that I wanted for next season, that like the title of it was Cavalier for Life. I just don't feel like I would have the same effect trying to tell a player what to do without like having like a couple banners on the wall. I got a couple banners on the wall. I've won a couple games out here, so got a little respect, and I think like this is just the best place for me to have the most impact on these guys trying to make it to the NBA and then, you know, be the best player they can be.
So what is it like you now being a mentor for guys like Sharif Cooper, Darius Garland, and Donovan Mitchell?
Is dream come true, you know what I'm saying? Cause like all those guys, man, like Darius was just asking me like, man, like when we gonna link up this summer and like shoot, like Don's the same way. And even just Sharif, he had gotten a bad reputation coming from his Atlanta situation, and it wasn't deserved because he's a great kid, but like that's just how the NBA go. But for me to have an opportunity to kind of work with him this year, mentor him, and just show him like you can't give them no reason to like hate on you or take it from you, because they will. Like that's kind of their angle. And so just being able to be around him and see him lead the league in scoring and go to another level, and then with Darius and Dunn, like those guys in the playoffs the same way, like want to come to me for questions and information about how to be better, like that it makes me feel like I don't gotta win a championship, I don't gotta do none of that, just to know that my peers in that game respect me as a basketball player and a basketball mind. Like that's why you hoop, that's why you try to be the best you can be, for that respect.
So what would you say your biggest learning experience so far coaching?
The travel is a little different in the G League. You ain't just flying on charters. You ride driving 6-hour bus rides, and and you riding on the commercial flights. But just seeing the hunger in those guys and seeing just how bad they want it and how much they willing to sacrifice to have it, I don't mind doing that with them. But that was like probably the biggest adjustment for me, just adjusting to the grind of the G League, because they make those guys understand that it's gonna take a lot if you really want to get to that next level.
What do you think is the biggest difference between when you played and the guys playing now?
They let them shoot a whole lot more threes, because if I was playing, I'm like number 6 right now. I for sure be at the top of that chart if Mike Brown was like, oh yeah, but we just go shoot 10 of them. Like I got my numbers shooting like 4 a game, so that'll be different. And I think when I came in, hand checking was still out, but you know, I'm one of them guys that I just like to see the competition in the game. Like, I know like there's a lot of friends and like social media is like easy for y'all to be cool now, but I think like it's more fun basketball when on the court. Like you don't like them, like let me not like you for these 48 minutes, and then we can go get some food or something after. But like that's just the energy I want to see a lot more. And these playoffs was fun though, watching guys like get after it a little bit. But I wish it was a little more gangster out there.
So you were able to play with LeBron his 3rd year when it was your rookie year. Is it surprising to you now, still seeing him play at the level that he is right now?
I can't even say it's surprising, because I used to check his locker to see if he had like a little battery pack or like some vibranium or something in his seat, like cause he would just walk in the gym, don't stretch, and just like East Bay, go straight through his legs and just dunk. It's like, bro, who made you, and what factory did you come from? So I ain't surprised that he's doing it this long because he cares enough about it to like take care of his body. On top of taking care of his body, he was born with a 6'9", 250 frame. So that's a blessing for him. So not surprised, maybe surprised at the fact that he's still averaging like 30 at 40. Like, that's crazy to even think about. Because if you think about all the other legends, they all like tapered off way before that. So it's special to see.
So the NBA draft is in about a month. What would be your advice to those players getting drafted?
Man, just have fun with it. Just have fun with it. Like, embrace this moment, embrace this opportunity. If you really think about it, it's probably harder to make it to the NBA than it is to hit the lottery. Like, it's 450 jobs that are already taken, actually, and you gotta like come in and get somebody's job, and they only giving 30 of them guaranteed every year. So for these guys, man, the process is hard and it's tough for everybody, but I always tell all the players that I come across, if you get lost in just the work and the opportunity just to even be in those arenas, like, and just get lost in working hard, you'll get an opportunity to play, whether it's the NBA, overseas. You'll get your opportunity to play basketball because it's a lot of basketball across the world. So, and it could take care of your life or your family for a long time.
So betting came legal in Ohio January. It's, big thing all over the world now. But how do you feel about people betting on games?
I mean, get your money. You know what I'm saying? Get your money. I know. I don't. I know they say it's against the rules for us, but I feel like if you feel like you know basketball, and I mean, it gives you like a little, you want to watch the games a little more when you got a little something at stake or somebody want to score a couple extra points. And I mean, I'm a big fan of the league, so any way we can get people to watch the games more, do your thing. It don't make me none.
So we talked about one of the big differences now for players is social media. So wanted to get your opinion on everything we've seen recently on social media with Ja Morant.
Man, it's tough, man. It's tough because, we all come from that, and it's different. I can imagine if, like, when I first got to the league, if we just had our phones and our cameras out same way, like, probably wouldn't be to that extent. I think that with Ja, it's legal to tote, it's legal to carry, but at the same time, it's illegal in our league to be seen moving like that because we don't represent that as a fraternity and as a brotherhood. So for him, he just gotta just kind of, I call it 007. Like, when it's time to work, you go to work and you do what you gotta do, and whatever else you do off the basketball court, that ain't for live and it ain't for nobody else to see. So I don't judge him. I don't say he's a bad guy because he's made mistakes or he's been seen like that. I just hope that he put some people around him that don't put him in them situations, that care enough about him to make sure he cool. And anybody else is in those situations, just respect the game and know that, like, them guys up top, they really looking for an opportunity to take that check from you. So you got to protect it and protect your family.
So there's 4 teams left now in playoffs: the Heat, Boston, Denver, and LA.
The Bubble Boys.
Who you think is gonna win it all?
The Bubble Boys. They try to act like the Bubble Boys. It's still a fluke to me, but
right.
to win it all, that's a bit tough one. I'ma just for the sake, I'ma go with Boston. They got there last year. They know what it's like. Denver got a squad. Braun and them got a squad, but if I had to pick it right now, I'd probably go with Boston because I just like the way Tatum rocking right now.
And then you do have your own podcast, Booby's World. So how did that kind of come about, and what made you want to get into the podcasting side?
They kind of just came to me with it during the playoffs. They was like, oh, we got this pod. It's called Big Play Network. We got a podcast where you could just talk hoops, talk playoffs, and talk Cavs basketball. And I'm like, well, shit, why not? Let me just see what happens. And the Cavs saw it, Bally saw it, and they all wanted a piece of it. And so it's just continuing to grow. We just get on there and just talk like this. Just talk hoops, talk anything new, and just, it's fun.
So that is all the time we have today. I want to thank you for coming on, but before you go, let everyone know where they can listen to your podcast, follow you on social media.
Well, the podcast is Booby's World Show. That's on Twitter and on Instagram. And my Instagram is Booby Gang. And yeah, that way you can find me. I spend most of my time in the gym, but other than that, yeah, that's my gram. That's where I'm at.
All right, everybody. This was Ball Talk with Brandy. I was here with Daniel Booby Gibson. Make sure you guys tune in next Monday. You guys don't know who'll be pulling up. This is Ball Talk.
This is WNRV 108.1.
From behind the backboard. What a shot.
An incredible shot by LeBron James.
Here comes
Think they on the radio, the way they all talk. As long as the show steady on, I can never fall off. They tune in too heavy though, I can never call off. Take the shot on every go, sorry I'm a ball hog. This that ball talk, this that ball talk, this that ball talk, this that ball talk, yeah. This that ball talk, this that ball talk, this that ball talk, this that ball talk, yeah.
All right, you could just say, okay, let's see how we gonna do it. Two drops for Brandy. Just say this, this Booby, I'm tapped in with Ball Talk with Brandy. Or, let me give you a couple examples, 2 examples.
It's your local homeboy Crisis letting y'all know Monday from 5 to 6 live on WNRV. Check out my dog, the good sis Brandy with Ball Talk.
What up, man? It's your boy Big Hef, man. I'm tapped in with my homegirl Brandy. Yo, this is Ball Talk. We talking sports. We talking that action. Yeah.
Something like that.
I got you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Quiet in the back. 3, 2, 1, go.
What it do, baby? If you want to win, put Booby in, and you are now tapped in with my girl Brandy with Ball Talk.